It started with two men. It started with an idea. Expansion. The world was ever more dangerous, threats more frequent, enemies endless. So they were summoned. New players, specific people for specific needs. They tore down what they had and built a new machine to achieve their expanded goals. And then they assembled. They were Avengers. But another group, the Illuminati, believed they knew better. They believed in the opposite of expansion. They believed in secrecy. Betrayals, lies, and deceit destroyed the idea. The idea begun by two men. One who was life, and one who was death. 8 months later. The Alpha 1 system.
Core reactions are becoming unstable. We are losing it. Not yet. We can hold it. Sing, brothers and sisters. Sing! It is the sun, life-giving. It wants to live. It has to. No! Five ex nihili gone! Such a high cost! And for what? Another failure! Another dead star! I don't understand why we...
Yes, you do, ex nihilo. The stars are speaking clearly. You all just refuse to believe the story they tell. They want to die. So they do.
That cannot be, Abyss. Alpha 1 was a yellow dwarf. It had a remaining natural lifespan of several billion years. And there was no tampering with it. No foreign exotic matter. It just chose to end.
I have been telling you that the very fabric of the universe is collapsing, diminishing space-time. I see it like a grid twisting in on itself, swirling around a coalescing center that has finally focused into a single point. Care to guess where that is?
Ah! Gloriana! Earth! I love Earth! Full of wonder and possibility. I twinned it myself, ex nihila. Dueling ecosystems. We should destroy it. Nah!
At the very least, we have to find out why it lies at the center of this. We have to find out, and we have to stop it. We don't have much time, ex nihili. Planets, stars, even the universe itself, all of this is coming to an end. Should we do something about that alarm? Just wait for it, Manifold. Samuel. Bobby! Good to see you too, man. But hey, maybe turn off the alarm. Right! God, I hate this thing. I could never... Crap, Izzy's gonna kill me. There you go, all better. Hey, nice suit. Thanks. Some of us work for a living. It really is great to see you guys. Eden, you keeping this fella straight? You know he likes to get into trouble. Does a pretty good job of dragging others with him, too. Honestly, I don't have enough free time anymore to find a hint of it. I'm too busy acting as a liaison for AIM and our secret Whoa, hold on a second. Did you just say you were working with AIM? Bobby, what in the world have you gotten into? Turns out that if you run a super evil science club like a large corporation, you're just as vulnerable to a hostile takeover as anyone else. So I bought AIM. They're actually a pretty decent group of people once we got rid of the management. But none of that really matters. What matters is it's time to come home, Sam. I need you. Attention! Be advised this area is now under quarantine. Do not attempt to escape. Do not attempt to run. What in the... It's the Imperial Guard. God, those guys overreact to everything. Well, Their house, their rules, brother. You're the one who chose to live on another planet. Later, all we're asking is that you clear any type of pan-dimensional or translocated arrival with the god before they arrive. Of course, because we have very sensitive shielding, and yes, I understand, and I'm sorry. Won't happen again. Good, because I want to stress just how sensitive. I hope you people are happy. You woke the baby. The baby woke the mother. Do you have any idea how tired I am? That's what we do, isn't it, little guy? We cause a ruckus. Hey, Izzy. Yes, Roberto? What's wrong with his face? It's good to see you again too, Bobby. But why are you here? The Orisian Field. Where is it? 20 meters. It's behind you, Starbrand. Over your right shoulder. Be careful. He'll be cycling in 3, 2, 1. See? Nothing to worry about, Night Mask. That was the last one. These old models don't stand a chance against us newer systems. But I thought all these Alephs were done when the builders left this universe. They were. Which is what makes this so interesting. Ah, that explains that. I'm accessing its core and transferring the data to you. But I'm pretty positive these didn't originate in our slice. Compression problem? Yep. Check out the last record before it slipped back into our space. Builder frigate trying to cut through the bleed. I'm surprised anything made it through. I'd feel bad if these things weren't such colossal jerks. But why would they even try? The bleed is a dead zone now. Maybe they were running from something worse than death? Total erasure? I wonder. Hope you receive this sooner than... Figured it out. Collapse of multiverse. Need you to... Home. Soon. Oh man, I really don't want to go back to Earth and those... people. But Sunspot and the rest, they need to know about this. And if it's what we think, then they need to know what we're going to do as well. So we should go now. Well, you're not getting any younger, but I am getting younger. It's a joke. I don't joke, Kevin. That's what makes it funny, Adam. You left right after the Avengers fell under S.H.I.E.L.D.'s authority, but after that, things really collapsed. Most everyone that wasn't on board went their separate ways, and those that stayed became obsessed with the Tony problem. Everything changed overnight. Everything changed, period. Look at you. You're a father now. Yep. I always wondered about people who had children in times like these. Don't you worry. Baby comes, all you do is worry. But you don't regret it, do you? More like you regret every minute before it. So, new perspective then. New everything. Did you look at all the data and stuff I've been sending you? The schematics and the basic ideas behind them? I did. It's good plan. Then what are you waiting for? Come home. Let's get started. Is it Izzy? Does she want you to stay? She keeps a bag packed, Bobby. She's dying to go back. God knows that woman is ready to kick someone's ass over all that's gone down. I'm the reason we stayed so long. Just wanted to steal as much time as possible. But if it's time, then it's time. And let's get on with it. The Savage Land. The rest of the team will be back tomorrow. We're supposed to be up and running then. So how are we doing on time? Pretty good, actually. The principle's basically the same as with previous versions. We're accessing a deeper, hotter vent to provide the necessary energy, but it's all basically economy of scale. Proportionally greater needs mean a proportionally greater power. Have you tested it yet? We're getting ready to do a dry run of the converter, but that's really not going to give us an accurate... Oh, wait. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, everything's green. I'm powering on the transformer and accessing the vent. Power surge! Shut it off! Shut it off! That went well. It's tough to gauge because we're only going to get one go at the actual machine, so we keep overloading the test conduits. Maybe if we did it in a cycle, dump the energy into a loop.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Just try and have it working by the time the others return. You know how You know how certain people get when they think you are spending their money unwisely.
Yeah, I know how to do my job, Dad.
Fair enough. And speaking of jobs, have you seen where Thor is today?
I'll give you one guess.
Good news! The machine's almost done. I mean, I can't really tell the difference, but the smart people seem to be pretty sure we'll be ready to go soon, which one could argue is cause for some celebration. And I can see you've already started. You mind sharing that? Sure! Right now, the plan is just for you and I to go through. There was talk of Pod coming as well. But I don't want that responsibility on my shoulders. Not with what we're being asked to do. Agreed! So right now, it looks like just you and me, into the breach and beyond. I think it's fitting, as we've both been tested and, at times, been found wanting. You have suffered. You have lost. I have too. But now, brother, now we both rise.
Shield Station, Golgotha, formerly Avengers Tower. Archangel Command, this is Overwatch. As expected, we have activity confirmed inside Golgotha. Single intruder, I think. It's very hard to read. Activating a shield containment team. Belay that. We don't move until we have confirmation. Every detection system in the building was deactivated, Director Hill, and the subject's mind is like quicksilver. Well then, try harder, soldier. All the money's in the middle of the table, so I want to know exactly who that is before I drop the weight of the world on them. We're ready when you are. I'm in the lab. Data looks intact. We may have lost Stark, but we'll still have access to all his stuff. Could be fun to tinker with. You ready to receive? Send it now. Any other problems? No, it's all quiet here. A bit too quiet. Shit, now projecting a pretty high probability that I'm toast. Are you sure? Yeah, but the data's almost uploaded. Once that's done, then I can jump out of here. Hopefully the fascists are running a little slow today. Got him! It's Amadeus Cho, super genius with a standing arrest on sight order, just like the rest of his fraternity. He's confirmed Illuminati. That's it then. Drop the field. I don't want him getting away. Power up the grid. Let him know he's in a box. Okay, not so slow. They're on to me. Jump out, now! Can't. Translocator isn't working. They must have erected a null field. I'm not going anywhere unless I get outside its range. What are you going to do? No choice, really. Change the variables. Take the show on the road. Ah! Sorry, officer. He's outside the building, ordering secondary teams to converge. No, pull everyone back. I'm sorry, sir. You heard me. Get them all out of the way. Archangel is sending in the best shield unit we have. Crap. The Avengers. Target in sight. How do you want to do this? Stay loose. Let him think he has options. But don't give anything away. Even encased and buried 30 feet underground, I would have picked up a power source large enough to extend a null field beyond its normal limitations. So I guess all I need to do is buy myself 15 seconds to clear its range. Communication interrupt. War Machine drone AI offline. Slaving to secondary source. I could do that in my sleep. Carol, look out! I'm fine, Hawkeye. Just running a little hot. Don't get distracted. Remember, Cho's situationally operating at several magnitudes beyond what we're capable of. Stay on task. Keep him off balance for just a few more seconds. Retasking drones. Something's not right here. There's a pattern. They're showing me a trap, then a path out that's too linear. Just to snatch it away, presenting a secondary... Oh, they're letting me box myself in. Crap. Containment feed... Ah! My hand! No translocating out this time, Cho. No getting out, period. You were right. You certainly know how these people think. Yes, I do. Amadeus Cho, in accordance with SHIELD Executive Order 2081, you are being detained until such a time as... Well, until I feel like it, or until we learn the location of your associates, starting with Anthony Stark, Iron Man. I can't help you, lady. I don't know where he is. No one does. He's disappeared. What about Banner? You know, dark green? No comment. And Hank Pym? You know, we're trying to save all of you, right? If you had any idea how many times I've heard that kind of excuse, you wouldn't waste your breath. Now, where are Brian Braddock and Stephen Strange? Where are they? Where are Hank McCoy, T'Challa, and Black Bolt? I'm not telling you a damn thing. Nothing. Yes, you will. I promise, you will talk. Where are the Illuminati hiding, Cho? Where is Reed Richards? Where is my husband? Latveria. You've barely touched your dinner, Prince Namor. Is something wrong?
No, Kristoff. Everything is... perfect. Of course, one would expect nothing less from Castle Doom.
No appetite, then.
More of an evolving palate. It seems I no longer crave the full-body trappings of the well-heeled. These days, such spoil seems increasingly decadent, don't you think?
I do not.
Really? You did understand what I just told you, yes? The things I have been doing?
I do. Everything is dying, and you find yourself, or perhaps better put, you placed yourself at the very center of it.
We are all at the center of it, Victor. Everyone and everything. My point is regarding urgency. Formal dinner while the world burns seems pointless. It seems wasteful.
But Namor, you must agree, we all have to eat, regardless of circumstances.
Yes, all men. But all of this is just for the three of us. Are there not people in Latveria with whom we might share it? As, what's the saying? You can't take it with you.
I must say, this newfound tenor is quite a departure for you, especially considering you and your friends set yourselves above all other men. So, is it sincerity speaking, or is this your fall?
It's a time of change, Victor.
That's the sentiment of a plutocrat, Namor. The sentiment of the undeserving nouveau riche who fall backwards into money and therefore power. We are not that. We are aristocrats. We were born better. You think that if every man, woman, and child in my country didn't want to take this food from my table, they couldn't? Tell me, which do you think is closer to truth? That they look up at Castle Doom and believe its walls are beyond being torn down, or that they would lay down their very lives to see them stand for all time? I love my people. I do. But they are my people. I keep them safe from harm. I give them a better life. And at night, before they sleep, to whatever god they pray, they give thanks for me. So yes, Doom eats first, and he eats the very best. You used to understand this.
The Cabal is unmanageable. They are a wild beast at hunt. Unnecessary evil because evil acts were needed. And the good and noble heroes of this world were so good and noble that they would not sacrifice themselves on that altar. They loved their damn piety to the point of extinction. But the Cabal... In the last few months, we have destroyed Earth after Earth and saved scores of universes. But Victor, they have learned to relish the atrocity. They savor the inhuman task that lies before them. We could simply destroy a world, do what we have to do, and be done with it. But instead they linger at the table, and, like gluttons, make a banquet of the meal. They grow in such acts while I am diminished. The horror of it all has become overwhelming, and they are beginning to sense my hesitation. I need you.
Which explains your appetite and your real reason for being here. You've come for help.
I have. Together, you and I could stand against such common behavior. Do what needs doing, and no more. I do not beg, but I also do not lie. I need your help, and I would be grateful for it.
I think not.
What?
You could have come to me first. You should have come to me first. But you did not. I can forgive your initial dalliances with Richards and the others. Their nature is not conducive to such practicality. But after that, you chose to throw in with your subhuman lot. Now you regret it. And you dragged the stinking carcass of your failure to my door.
Victor, please. Everything will stand or fall on what we face.
You should have thought of that, Namor, and more carefully considered your position. You should have known better. Doom is no man's second choice. Now, you must excuse me. I have other concerns.
Kristoff, can you...
It was good seeing you again, Prince Namor. Best of luck with your genocide. Earth 71202.
I look around and I wonder, where is Zorn? Where is Zorn, Brother Order? Who hid the morning sun behind a mask? Where is Zorn, Brother Chaos? Who hid a black hole behind his? Where are your champions, Charles? Where are your children?
I do not know.
I know. I know, because when we arrived on this broken, backwards Earth, you sent them and the rest of your X-Men to stop us. To stop all this. Well, I have something for you. A final word from your champions.
What is the true value of being valiant, Father? Was it enough that I tried, or would my failure define who I am in such a way that all my previous good is reduced, just as I have been? Brother, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Failure implies some possible chance of success, and how could we ever have achieved such a thing? Are we not rabble? Are we not the cast out? This isn't our fault at all. No, I blame you, Father Charles. You convinced us we were different, that we were special, and then you sacrificed us for nothing. We deserved better. And then they kiss. What is wrong with you? With all of you?
Look there, human. There is Thanos, and he has come to destroy your world so that all things might be saved. He is death, and as sure as there is any assuredness remaining in your universe, he will succeed. All he wants in return for a swifter, less cruel end is one small thing. What do you want? Very little, Professor X. A pittance, a portion, a tribute. What? I want you to beg. Beg me to kill you, and I will do so quickly. I know what you're thinking, mutant, and I agree. They're animals, aren't they? Which leads to something of a quandary, doesn't it? How can you trust an animal to keep its word? You can't. Which leads us to the more interesting question, which is, why would you succumb to the tyrant's request at all? You know by now that we must kill your world if ours is to live. Your death is inevitable. So how could we threaten you with the promise of what is already assured? That assurance, that truth, is undeniable. A strong man would hide behind the walls of that truth. He would make a fortress of it against which no siege would succeed. He would find some victory in that death. Why then, faced with the facts at hand, am I so sure that you will beg? And the walls came crumbling down. Please. Please what? Please kill me! The fallen city of Wakanda, population 1,309. All clear, no local heat signature, strike leader. There's nothing living here. Our current concern is not men, soldier, but the unholy machines of Maximus. An incursion underway means the Cabal have left Wakanda. Rest assured, we will only have one chance at this. Yes, but sometimes I wonder why. To save a world that stood by and did nothing to save our nation. Wakanda crumbled, but they just watched on their televisions. Some even managed tears for our plight, but no one did anything. Why should we sacrifice? Up! Get up! You heard him! Up! Up, you dogs of war! For Wakanda! For Wakanda! It started! The Hatat Zarazi have drawn their fire! The drones swarm to prevent infection! Quickly then, this passage leads directly to the armory. How long do we have, brother? The incursion is currently active, so we should have time to steal or scuttle the remaining antimatter bombs before any of the Cabal return. I will not lie, T'Challa. It chafes me that this is what we stoop to. Blackmail. You'll feel better if you refer to it as leverage, Shuri. I'd feel better if my enemies were dead. Of course. But either way, once the world decided that Wakanda was an acceptable price to pay for the survival of the planet,
there was no longer any shame to be considered in how things appear. We're here. Listen, sister. When the next incursion comes, and the only people in the world with the means of ensuring its survival are the diaspora of the Golden City, then we will make them consider true shame. I promise you, I will make them choke on it. No motion, no energy signatures. The room's clear. Quickly, we need to... No, wait! What in the name of... No! No! No, don't take me. I want to stay and blow things up. Like billions of people. And the big weepy hearts of heroes. But then you have to ask yourself, can you really call yourself a hero if you've spent time building bombs like me? No, Mr. Bomb. No, you cannot. Maximus. You know, I woke up this morning and just knew I was going to catch me a very big fish. I saw you see me, think I saw you seeing me, or something like that. Moves within moves. Check. Checkmate. You can't possibly think I'm not getting through that field, Maximus. You're smarter than that. I know. You're not locked out, T'Challa. You're locked in. And here's the warden come to put you in your place.
The first rule of the Black Order of Thanos is do not speak of things as true that you have not seen and understood with your own eyes. You can't believe those incursion reports you get fed, human. They gave us your city. You think the people who rule this world wouldn't lie every single time about who is and who is not off-world during an event? Of course not. You know how little these people can be trusted. You know how little they matter.
Ah! Shuri, T'Challa, go! Find another way!
Look here, woman. I am Hatat Zarazi, a dog of war.
I was made to die for my country. Have you ever had so much conviction? Every single day I wake. Where did they go, Maximus? They got away. He blew himself up, and they got away. Not checkmate. Check. I never planned for sacrifice. Why is that?
Maximus!
Where? Out? Away? Where else do you think? I will remove your tongue. Fine. Tasking drones. Cover your ears. What are they doing? My best guess is Maximus is collapsing the tunnel to follow where we went. Crude and time-consuming. What are we doing? We are leaving. Now. Reed, are you there? We're coming in hot. Hot? You mean, yes. Translocating. You know they can track that now. It takes them a few hours, but they have the capability. I know, but we have to risk it. So, failure. More. Betrayal. I'll tell the others to pack. Be safe, my friend. Shuri, we have to go. I'm not coming, T'Challa. We fight for something over the idea of what we could have had, of what once existed, but is now nothing. I see now the goddess. She knew what was coming. All that remains of Wakanda is ash and rubble. See, brother, it's all a necropolis now. A city of ghosts, a kingdom of nothing but the dead. I can trust you to finish this. I could do better. I could stay. No, you can't. Then you have my word, sister. I swear it. I will miss you, T'Challa. I will see you soon, Shuri.
He ran off and left you here all alone. What heart! What courage!
The first rule of the Black Order of Thanos is do not speak of things as true that you have not seen and understood with your own eyes. You don't have a damn clue what you just saw.
I know what I see now.
And what is that?
Nothing that breathes tomorrow. I offer you a painful death, or a shameful one, my poor, fallen queen. Which will it be?
Latveria.
Forgive me, father, but regarding Prince Namor, is he not an ally? Has he not always been? An opportunity missed, I think.
No, Kristoff. You must recognize the broken for what they are. All you have, regardless of by which ethos one is governed, is loyalty to who we are. And that man who sat at our table, fallen, unrecognizable to me, dross to be quickly cast out. If that were not enough, there is always the question of who would the relationship profit. In that regard, his own words damned him, as we clearly understand more of what threatens this world than he does. Identity confirmed. Please state authorization password.
Everything dies.
Access granted.
Doctor, we weren't expecting you here this evening. Is there something wrong?
Nothing pressing, Thinker. Nothing you should be concerned with. Much like where I am going to be, or why. Your only concern is the grinding inevitability of progress, and whether that progress pleases me.
There is no such thing as good fortune, Victor, or fate smiling favorably upon the lucky few. There is only the work, and I do it well. Come and see your progress, Doom. See what we have done. Since I arrived, the nature of the object has prevented us from fully understanding its parameters. Early on, it was clear the piece of dead earth collected from the Latverian incursion was, I suppose the best term would be broadcasting, at various harmonics. For some time now, we believe this to be a latent trans-universal signal, that whoever engineered this is creating a series of touchpoints, like celestial buoys, making worlds amidst the multiverse.
And have you finally confirmed these suspicions?
Oh, I've done better than that. Look.
This is fantastic, Thinker. You've mapped their entire network.
Yes, I cracked the sequencing of the algorithm being used to vary their harmonic signal.
It's much more than that.
Oh?
Yes. Look closer, Kristoff. He's reverse-engineered a way to find who is behind this.
This is progress, Thinker. Well done.
It's true and glorious. I did find it.
So, what now, Father?
Now those who believe they can manufacture Doom will face Doom himself.
You have a plan, don't you, Father?
Of course, but I have more than a plan. I have all the pieces necessary to bring it to pass. Thanks to the Molecule Man. Let there be suffering and woe to all who stand in my way.
Iowa, the cane farm. You see all kinds of things in this world. Eventually you think you've seen it all.
But then something new comes your way, and suddenly there's that thing you thought was lost forever. Wonder. Now look at you, little man. Aren't you a wonder? You did good, Izzy. Good genes, Dad. Speaking of, Grandpa, where's the grove? The smaller one in the far field. You remember which one I'm talking about? Yeah. Manifold, have we got time? Uh-huh. Don't worry about it, Sam. I'll get us back where we need to be. You guys go do your thing. Okay, kiddo. Time to introduce you to someone very special. So, you going to tell your father? Not sure what you mean there, Samuel. Hey, Dad, we might need you to watch the kid, but I don't want you to worry too much about it. He's a mutant, superhuman, super guardian, hyper-gestated baby that, as long as you don't throw him into the sun, should be just fine, no matter what. Yeah, our little boy is something else. I wish everybody had gotten a chance to meet him. Hey, Grandpa, I miss you so much. This is Josiah. He's one of us. The Drake Passage.
Approaching the Savage Land now, Mr. DaCosta. We'll be landing in the next 5 minutes. Is there anything you need before we touch down?
No, thank you. Just get us on the ground. Aquario Angong Nagnigo. English or Portuguese, please. Ah, yes. Sorry, sir. Well, what we were talking about was, do you ever wonder how well the yellow men can see out of those helmets? Because I don't think they can. I try not to think about it. Plus, we have bigger concerns. The Savage Land. Welcome home, sir. Home is Brazil, Doctor. In my palatial estate, overlooking a beautiful beach, owning my own television network. This is business, and I'm not happy with the most recent report you sent me regarding the initial power grid. Those figures cannot be right. They were, but we've also had a breakthrough, which is what your advisors are looking at now. Oh, this is very clever. They switched power sources. Yes, an antimatter injection core gives you a higher upper threshold of usable energy, but it's a burst, and the bottleneck problem has always presented conversion issues. But using the geothermal vent beneath the Savage Land solves that problem, as you can slowly increase the power levels. Sure, the top end is shut up, zebras. So, it works. It does. How would you like to proceed now? The world is ending, Doctor. What do you think I want to do? Fire it up. Later. It's holding! We can maintain this current level indefinitely. We're stable and ready to push power to the auger. Activating the machine. What do you guys think? All current models project that the collapsing multiverse contains several 100,000 remaining universes. At these reduced levels, and from our position on a far end of the universal spectrum, we'll be able to project the team halfway across the multiverse. That far? Does that mean... Yes, it does. Well, that's how it has to be, isn't it? Respectfully, we have more to lose than you do, sir, so I don't know that it is. That's where you're wrong, my striped friend. We're all equal opportunity risk takers now. Everyone is gambling. Everything. Our lives, our futures, our friends. Open the access door. 4 hours ago, and you're sure about this? Wasn't any mistaking it, Bobby. It was an Aleph from another universe, partially damaged from its migration here, but definitely builder-engineered and produced. But that's not the part of this that concerns you, though. Tell him, Adam. There's a compression problem. Many things exist in the spaces between universes, not in relation to the fertile ground of real space, like this universe, but in comparison to how few should be able to exist in no space, like the Aleph we found. As we approach the end of everything, overflow and overlap are going to lead to a less orderly state of decay. This is a problem. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have any idea what that means. We don't think the Aleph jumped here. We think it was pushed through by the collapse of everything. Like Adam said, there's a compression problem. And not for nothing, but that thing behind you is freaking me out. You mean pod? You don't need to worry about pods, Starbrand. Everything is cool. Pods with the planet, which means pods with us. Tell them, Pod. Everything is cool. Okay. Anyway, the point. You put out the call for us to come back and help you with your problem, only for us to discover our problem is the same as your problem. And we want in. Will, what did you find out? Could you confirm what we found? Please, tell us. Are we right? Just a moment more, Doctor. If this was just some standard living carbon world, a surface scan would provide more than a sufficient amount of data. This world, however, has been touched by ex nihilo, so it should both live and live. 3 hours ago. But, as we both know, New Genesis was abated, and the sentient new world was killed by another builder system, Starbrand. This means a cursory glance is not enough, as the new world's death obscures the state of the old. We need to dig deeper. The ex nihili have reached the core. We can see the whole system. This world has scars. These lights, the points you see here, have brushed up against foreign universal bodies. What do you mean, Abyss? Foreign? Universal? Like Hyperion, but not just a person, an entire ecosystem.
You mean a world! Which confirms what we've learned on our own,
Which means the SHIELD files we've seen are true, which agrees with what Captain Rogers told the Avengers months ago.
Yes, but this implies it's both an ongoing and lingering problem. Either way, you now have your independent confirmation. Can we proceed with the project?
What do you think? The new world is dead. The old world is surely dying. You should expand your plans to include us. Do you understand the risks?
Here's the thing about life, Robert da Costa. Most people don't really understand it. They perceive it in terms of their own existence, their own birth, the birth of their children. They measure life by the time they have in theirs. This is life as an extension of love. There's nothing wrong with it. But it is not life unfettered. It's not life as a primal force. It's not the violent struggle of life. It's a bubble making its way to the surface of a sea. I see life as a perfect sphere, called a planet, resting the perfect distance from a perfect sun. The vast majority of the universe is nothingness. I know this. It is the absence of life. This is how I see it. Understand. Life is a miracle in the face of the lifeless void. What you face now is the end of all miracles, a return to an equilibrium called nothing. But I am ex nihilo. I am life, and I will not stand for such a thing. I have to go.
You don't have to go, Father.
2 hours ago. If I stayed, what would that mean? What kind of example would that be? Not just for the others, but for you. Haven't I taught you? Service matters. Sacrifice matters.
How about this then? We don't want you to go.
Then I would say, I don't want to either.
But you have to?
Yes, I have to. I am needed.
It feels wrong. Sending you out there, Thor. It feels wrong.
How might that be?
Well, I'm staying here to fix the Avengers while you're
undergoing a different trial.
I'm just saying. The Augur is going to throw all of you to the other side of the multiverse. Tens of thousands of universes away.
Sounds very far.
You certainly don't measure the distance in miles. Regardless, I stay here and try and fix the Avengers. a group of which you were a founding member.
While I go to smite at the very heart of what caused all this. I wish you well in repairing the dream, Roberto. I hope that when the moment comes, my will is as steady as yours, my heart as righteous. Soon we shall see.
Thor.
Yes.
You understand, right? There's no coming back. You're all going to die out there.
Aye, it is an end. But to die, striking down the great destroyer, that would be a fitting one. So if you pray that I am not found wanting, and instead am worthy of such a glorious end.
Day 1.
I think we've lost our way.
All we need is a little light. Any luck on that front, Henry? Time's a factor.
I think so. And you can't rush greatness, Reed, without patience. Ah, there. That should do it. Try it now.
Here goes.
How'd you find out about this place?
My father told me. He used to work here for a while with Howard Stark. Some secret society clandestine job with the unseen architects of history. Apparently, to hear him tell it, one of their job descriptions was assisting the orderly demise of the world. Now that I think about it, this might not have been such a good idea. Or maybe it's perfect. Oh, we brothers of Abyss, lost souls who light the fall, down to the depths of our well-earned hell.
Nice. Byron?
No. Braddock. The perimeter's secure. No one's getting in here. Is that another way of saying that we're locked in? I'm the last Captain Britain left, Reed. I've learned not to take risks that I don't have to. What's in here is too important to lose. So, yes, we're locked in.
Engaging the comm system. How much time do we have left on the clock? Because I'm not sure we have time to cloak the signal.
We don't. He should be inside in the next few minutes. However, it's New York, so he'll be scattering data off hundreds of nodes. He'll still be at risk, but we won't be a factor. Locking on now. SGPS has a fix. Triangulating. He's inside already. Connecting biopackage now. We should have audio in 3, 2, connected. You're active, Cho. We're ready when you are. I'm in the lab. Data looks intact. We may have lost Stark, but we'll still have access to all his stuff. Could be fun to tinker with. You ready to receive? Send it now. Henry, are we getting it?
We're good. Signal's stable.
Any other problems? No, it's all quiet here. A bit too quiet. Shit! Now projecting a pretty high probability that I'm toast.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but the data's almost uploaded. Once that's done, then I can jump out of here. Hopefully the fascists are running a little slow today.
Oh no. SHIELD helicarriers on site. Transfer complete, Reed! Jump out, now!
Can't. Translocator isn't working. They must have directed a null field. I'm not going anywhere unless I get outside its range.
What are you going to do?
No choice, really. Change the... Damn.
They have him.
Day 2. Okay, it's connected. Anyone care to explain to me why we didn't just try to contact Cho the way we did earlier?
The hunted must always be more cautious than the hunter, Captain. To say nothing of the fact that he's probably being detained in a SHIELD black box facility. But we can't be sure, can we? Oh, and that communication gear he was wearing earlier, most likely confiscated. But it's worse than that. It was bad enough when their Psi agents started running global sweeps for our brain signatures. But in the last couple months, they've systematically attacked and crippled every technological advantage we'd previously enjoyed. Why do you think we just started traveling coach, Captain? 3 weeks ago, they cracked our translocating ability. We jump somewhere, and they'll triangulate that signal and be on top of us faster than we can set up our mobile lab. How do you expect that all this could possibly work?
Well, Captain, they're smart, but they're not that smart. You know the implant I gave you months ago when you joined us? Of course, you said it was necessary, that you all had 'em. Correct, and while its primary function is distorting our brain signatures to evade detection, it also happens to be the most advanced tracking and recording system ever invented.
By a human.
That's true. Thank you, Henry. Always something new to strive for. Regardless, though it was not constructed for this exact use, in theory, this device can be accessed remotely and give us access to a live feed of what Cho is experiencing. They won't be able to detect that. The device algorithmically hops modes and frequencies thousands of times a millisecond. Unless you know the parameters, the device is undetectable. Our access of the device, that's a little more tricky. Most SHIELD facilities are hard shielded against such attempts of this nature. But I think by bouncing and amplifying the signal through the planet's descendant core, I might be... Aha! Hello, Amadeus. Good to see you. It worked. What do we do now? Now we wait for them to give us something. 4 hours later. Look, it's not like I'm asking to speak to my lawyer or anything crazy like that. I mean, I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. I'm just looking for something like maybe a PB&J, or really any consumable belonging to the sandwich family.
That's what you want? A sandwich? That's all it's gonna take to shut you up?
Please.
Dear God, give him a sandwich.
Yeah, but I'm particular, so I'm gonna need you to cut the crust off. And then, when you've done that, I want you to take that sandwich and shove it straight up your agent. That's enough.
Well, isn't this interesting?
You can all go. I'll take it from here. Hello, Amadeus. I'm Susan Richards. I'll be your interrogator. We've met, and even if we hadn't, I've seen your pictures. I believe we have some of the same acquaintances. Uh-huh. Is there anything I can get you before we get started? Well, I'm just dying for a sandwich. I'm afraid we've run out. Figures. Spend billions and billions of dollars building floating weapon platforms and really, really nice jails, and then scrimp on dinner. Sounds exactly like the government. You worried about how your hard-earned taxes are being spent? It's hilarious you think I pay taxes. I am absolutely not surprised you think you're above the law. Oh, what you call the law, I call the subjugate. Here's the thing. I know what you're doing, and I know what you're doing is wrong. I know it for a fact, and we're going to sit in this room until you give me what I need. Oh, you know things, huh? Did you know that only 4% of people think they have a below-average intelligence? 4%. And were you also aware that tests show there is a direct correlation between lack of intelligence and assuredness? When you hear someone say they know something for a fact, picture them with a sign around their neck that says, "I'm an idiot." Present company excluded, of course, but still, it's something to think about. Well, we're talking about you, Amadeus, and I just so happen to have your SHIELD-procured test scores right here. And surprising no one, you do not have below-average intelligence. This is, in fact, a fact. Let's say, hypothetically, that there was this person who tested out in the top 5% on all the standard IQ exams, across the board, consistently. Now, you might argue that this is, clearly, a very smart, very special person, but I'd be willing to bet all the money in my pocket against all the sandwiches in yours that this person would tell you that you are wrong. Do you know why? Why? Because this person would know that being in the top 5% still means that there are 250 million other people out there at least as smart as he is. One of 250 million. What's so special about that? Nothing. Not a thing. Yes, but that story doesn't really apply to you. After all, you're one of the 10 smartest humans on the planet Earth, aren't you? The point of the story is, I know people who are smarter. So do I! Better than you ever will! Maybe better than I know myself! Want to know what else I know? I am going to catch all of you, especially my husband. And what if he told you he knew what he was doing? What would you tell him then? I'd tell him I've heard it all before, and to get used to sleeping in a cell. Day 3. Any luck?
Almost there. Honestly, if Cho hadn't stuck around to the very end, this wouldn't have worked. Stark's encryption is simply too well done. Well, what's the word? Did Cho fall on his sword for a good cause? Or does the Grail elude us? I'm in. We may have lost Stark.
He's not lost. We just haven't found him yet.
Either way, we finally got our hands on his data.
What am I looking at? Together, Tony and I enacted several contingency plans. When we first learned of what we were facing, you know about some of those. The Avengers machine, the Explorer protocols, other less practical ideas. Pym? Yes, and then beyond that, there were the things we created individually. Tony, he built weapons, and he built them well. This is Soul's hammer.
How many files are there? Well, they're not at all relevant. There appears to be a database of phone numbers and a truly sketchy scoring system, corporate holdings, bank accounts. But at first glance, the weapons files appear to be robust. I'm counting 653 separate designs.
See, this is why everyone thinks you people are always up to something. Because you are.
Okay, we need to catalog. Hold on! Emergency transmission. It's T'Challa.
Reed, are you there? We're coming in hot. Hot? You mean, yes, translocating. You know they can track that now. It takes them a few hours, but they have the capability. I know, but we have to risk it. So, failure. More betrayal. I'll tell the others to pack. Be safe, my friend. Okay, you heard the man. We're mobile in under an hour. Beast, can you please...
Already on it, Reed. Any particular message?
Just make sure you embed the code. It's time we got better intel.
Is there any particular type of incoming?
What happened? We lost it all. The Golden City has crumbled. Wakanda is gone. Rome. This is Archangel Command. We have just entered Italian airspace from the Mediterranean without state clearance, so we are on a countdown. Let's do this with speed, people. Advance team. On the jump deck, at the ready, waiting on your order to engage. You have it. Engage. Go, go, go! We're down. Targeting system online. We've acquired the translocation resonance. This is the location. We've got a lock. The drill's online and the site is prepped. What about the cargo? Ready to deploy. Okay, drill stable. Tunneling the package. Archangel, this is Hawkeye. I'm in the city. From the sky, we're getting nothing on thermals, and motion tracking is unreliable due to the density and age of the city, so be careful. Yeah, will do. But your concern might be wasted. I think we're too late, again. Nothing down here but me and...
It's a quandary, isn't it? A choice that represents a commitment to action.
Got something. Stand by. Oh, damn. What is it? Tough to explain. You need to get down here, Steve. You're going to want to see this for yourself. Later. Forensic teams are combing through the place with a fine-toothed comb. We're using pretty much every trick we have. Microscopic DNA tracers, residue sniffers looking for latent power signatures. Even the psi agents are working in a low-yield temporal cage to try to pick up any stray thoughts they might have left behind. Let me guess, Hill. We can confirm they were here. But other than that, nothing. And they've slipped away once more. Well, we've gotten plenty of DNA hits. Confirmation of Mr. Fantastic. Don't do that. Do what? Don't refer to these people by those names. That's not who they are anymore. They don't get to have that. Understood, sir. As I was saying, we have confirmation of Richards, McCoy, and Banner. We think there was a fourth, maybe a fifth. Still waiting for full scans to come in. However, you need to see what Hawkeye found. Some kind of hollow solid projection. It's on a loop. The same thing over and over again.
Or is it mine? I'm beginning to think that we're going to play this game until our very end, Beast. Ab igni ignum, Doctor. We have all earned our just portion. And I suppose fate is simply the external manifestation of our character's established limitations. Is it your move, or is it mine? I'm beginning to think that
they look tired. It's called looking guilty, Susan. Well, any thoughts as to what we should do with this? Is it your move, or is it mine? You think could be.
Queen to Night 4. Hello, Steve. It's been a while. How does it? I bet you're wondering how we know it's you. It's true that the interactivity on this program is fairly limited. I mean, I could only accomplish so much in the 5 minutes I spent setting this up. But the question, how do they know it's me? Well, it's a fair one to ask. So here's your answer. Everyone likes to think they're special, that they are some unique combination of personality, history, and cognitive ability. But the truth is, those are just ticked boxes that give us insight into how each person is hardwired. Study personalities long enough, and you get to know them like the back of your hand. I don't buy this at all. He's bluffing. Now, it's possible you think I'm being disingenuous, but would you be surprised to know that there's a 95% chance that either Clint, Sam, or Subdirector Hill is with you? There's an 80% chance that you brought all three. I'd take those odds. And, oh my stars, there's even a 68% chance that you asked Susan Richards to join you. And if you asked, there's an 83% chance she said yes. Ab intra. So what does all this mean? Why, pray tell, am I telling you all this? If you're going to get serious about catching us, you're going to have to come to grips with your shortcomings and adjust accordingly. After all, we're not playing a game with some kind of arbitrary rules, Steve. We're playing you. Better up your game, son.
Steve, No, we're done here. I want everyone to pack up. Give me the room. Later. And so I ask you, whom can we trust? The lucky few who dare to stand above us, looking down in pity at those who need their protection? The General Assembly of the United Nations. The lucky few who, because they keep us safe, decide what we should and should not know about the real threats we face? Or should we trust in the truth and face the things that we all fear together, knowing that, at the very least, we decided our own fate?
Why are you watching this again, Susan?
We just got the analytics back from the guys in the head shop, the behavioral studies group. We had an ungodly amount of cameras in the UN building, just a ton of data, and even though it was going to take them forever, I had them go through and analyze everything. You know, catalog the responses to the good ambassador's speech. Most of what we'll learn isn't actionable, but at least we'll find out who already knew what she was going to say, who was sympathetic, and which of our friends soon decided the best bet was laying down with the enemy. Here it comes. These are all reasonable questions. They are the questions I asked myself when I found out earlier today that the lucky few have secrets. Not the normal, somewhat excusable secrets we are used to, but frankly, the most terrifying thing I have ever heard. I learned our world, our universe is dying, and these lucky few, these Heroes have known this for quite some time. I find that unacceptable, and I'm sure you do as well. Now, would you look at that? Head Shop says that less than 5% of the UN's General Assembly didn't know or wasn't immediately sympathetic. Understand what that means, Steve. 95% of the member nations decided what to do at a later date. The leaders of those countries, informed by what they learned and how their citizens responded, sat down and made a conscious decision to buy in. Does that make them morally repugnant? Or does it make us look like rubes? Still, you gotta admit, 2 days later at the Security Council meeting, Tarax the truly enlightened made the Cabal's case well.
We did not cause this. And just like you, we did not ask for this fate. But unlike the Illuminati, we will not hide it from you. We will not simplify the moral dilemma. We will not take that choice from you, as that is yours to make. So please, choose to sleep at night soundly, knowing we ensured that the next day the sun will surely rise. For you, and for all mankind.
Then you got up and tried to beat him to death with your cane, which of course only made their case stronger. And a week later, after all the screaming, yelling, and eventual compromise, everyone had agreed to look the other way and let the Cabal do the unthinkable. So when they asked for Wakanda in exchange, who could deny them? For all souls had already been sold.
I just realized I never asked. When did you find out?
Not long after you did.
Did Reed tell you what they did to me?
Yes.
And how did you feel about that?
Furious, but exhausted more than anything else. It's the ambiguity. See, there's a piece of me that wants to always believe in him unconditionally. But do you have any idea how many times he's left me in the dark? And this... well... if you ask me, it sounds like both of you got in bed with the wrong people. The president called Steve. He's furious. We still have his support, but we can't put him out on a limb with the other nation-states. He said to remind you, full discretion inside U.S. borders, but you need authorization for these extracurricular activities. And I've got the latest status report. You want to do it now, or do you need to call home?
The president can wait, Carol.
Do I need to leave?
No. You can hear this. I actually lifted your clearance restrictions after the thing with Cho. We're several months in and you've more than proved yourself.
Welcome to the rabbit hole, Susan. Going down. This is footage from the SHIELD orbital platform stationed over Wakanda showing the origination of the translocation signature we traced to Rome. Confirmed as the Black Panther. We also got an additional DNA hit from the Rome site. Confirmed as Brian Braddock, Captain Britain, which would make this only our second confirmation of him being attached to the Illuminati. Still, it's confirmation. Makes sense. Multi-dimensional core policing many worlds. Might also explain why we haven't seen him much.
More importantly, he might have some insight that we do not. He's got family. Can we reach out?
Betsy Braddock, Psylocke, is protected by the X-Nation. We can't get to her. The same way we can't get to Beast. We'd have to catch her off base, which means diverting assets. Is that something you want to do?
No, we can't spare them. Our own government barely tolerates us, and after today, we're going to have zero rope beyond US borders. What about the other unaccounted for Illuminati? What about Black Bolt?
Still seemingly disconnected from the other Illuminati members, but we're even less accepted in Adelan than elsewhere.
Anything else?
Roberto da Costa has been making some noise. You know how we were wondering where Hyperion disappeared to? Apparently he's coordinating the merger of technological assets between his new boss and his boss's most recent acquisition.
Sunspot bought AIM?
Uh-huh. Revealed it to his shareholders 2 days ago. Apparently he's secretly been in control through a holding company for some time.
He bought AIM?
That's, well, kind of brilliant. I tell you, people with money are worth keeping around. Maybe we should have tried a bit harder to do that.
Anything else?
The UN is still cordoning off all incursion points. We're pretty sure there was one around the same time we picked up the translocation signal, but you know that already. So yeah, I guess that's it.
That's it.
It is.
Okay. Susan,
Yes, Steve?
please excuse us.
You want to fuss at me about the DaCosta thing?
You know better than that.
Yeah.
So
I don't have anything else. This is all the information I have. What about you? Is there something else I should know? Have you found out something?
Carol, we've been over this several times. I don't know where Natasha and Jessica disappeared to. I don't. We found their RFID implants in El Paso. They'd been removed, and then they both just disappeared, which I shouldn't have to remind you, they are both trained to do. If they don't want to be found, and they're careful, they're not going to be found.
You think they just quit? I'm supposed to believe that.
Maybe they ran off to join the guy with all the money.
We should have done better with that.
Yes, we should have.
I'm going to bed.
Okay. And Carol,
Yeah?
don't ever come into one of these meetings again without having a report on Richards or Stark. Even if it's just to say there's nothing new to report. Not ever again. They are priority one, with a bullet. All year long. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good night. So please choose to sleep at night, soundly, knowing we ensured that the next day the sun will surely rise for you and for all mankind. Your day's coming too, pal.
2 days later. You can come out. I'm alone.
I know.
Yeah, but do you know because you checked, or because you trust me?
I'll always trust you, Susan.
Yeah, but, you know, I would have checked.
I know that too.
I like the beard.
It's my road beard.
Well, I have some bad news, sport. You were wrong.
Oh?
Yeah, they let me in 2 days earlier than you projected.
Well, Mrs. Richards, you're a very charming and persuasive woman. I watched you interrogate Cho.
I thought I might have been speaking to an audience. How did you beat the security of... You know what? Never mind. It's better if I don't know. Here's his prisoner ID number, travel schedule, and tracking frequency. You should be able to intercept him, but...
They could be feeding you bad intel. The frequency will be enough. We'll retrieve him next time we change locations. I miss you.
I can tell. Ab intra. That was clumsy. I miss you too.
How are the kids?
As good as they can be. They both miss you very much. Franklin is... Well, he still thinks he disappointed you.
I should never have done that. I should never have asked.
I know. We all know. He's just hurting.
And Val?
Val believes she's onto something. Val thinks she and the other kids have figured out the solution to your problem.
What?
She wanted me to give you this.
Did you look at it?
I did. And then I almost didn't bring it.
But you did.
And now I have to go. I think we're running out of time, Reed. If we're going to do something, it must be soon. Oh, and one other thing. Val's special, and I love her dearly, but she's not perfect. She's not always right. She has the same flaws you do. She's just a child, and I think you should burn that. Dad, you can't win. Time to start figuring out how not to lose. Val.